What are some of the misconceptions when it comes to investing?
A lot of people think that stocks, crypto, it's all a scam. I have a very broke mentality. I just wanted to save. So scared money makes no money.
Bilaal Dhalech, entrepreneur, investor, and personal finance guru.
Helping people around the world be financially independent.
I started investing. Then I'm like, hey, I can teach this and turn it into a business, and I did that. Then we're doing pretty good. Nowadays, the stock market literally is like a casino or a place to gamble, because nowadays I think crypto is the next big thing. Sometimes I don't even know if I'm actually in it for the money or more for the hype.
I've always been so scared of trading, but I've got a friend that was into Bitcoin since 2014. He would buy it for $50, he would sell it for $60. But if he had held...
He made two mistakes. One, he was trying to...
Bilaal
Radin.
What's up, my brother?
Good.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, can't
Let me
complain.
get these lights going on for us. What brings you to Dubai?
Man, I come, many times. This is actually my second time. The first time I came around was, we do own a couple restaurants, my family in them.
In Dubai?
In Dubai, yeah.
Nice.
So we have Arabesca,
Yeah.
and then we have Moira, which is by the Palm, and then we just opened a new one right here called Beirut Khanam. So
Wait, that's been there for a while.
Beirut, last year, but we're still doing all the marketing. And you talk about this one right
Beirut Khanum.
here?
Yeah.
You go there?
Of course, I've been there many times. I live in downtown, so I go there.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I was close to you.
Beirut Khanum means lady.
Oh, is that what it means? I didn't know.
Khanum means lady. And Beirut means so it's like a Lebanese lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was the capital of Lebanon, right?
Yeah, of course. So wait, you guys bought it from someone then, I assuming?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know the details. I'm just here for the marketing for
Sure.
the most part, because that's my game, social media.
Sure. Okay, so what brings you to Dubai?
In terms of
this trip.
So for this trip, I'm also helping with the marketing, but
Okay.
in terms of finance, I'm trying to meet with a bunch of content creators and kind of get my foot wet, because I come from Canada.
Sure.
So Canada's a little sticky right now. We have
Why?
we got like insane amount of taxes.
Of course.
Ever since the whole COVID pandemic stuff happened. I'm pretty sure you've probably heard about what happened with all the truckers and...
Oh, they went on a strike, didn't they?
Yeah. But also, for the first time ever in a long time, the government actually froze Canadian citizens' bank accounts because they decided not to take the vaccine.
That's right.
And actually go on strike.
Yeah.
Strike or protest, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, what's going on? This doesn't feel like a democracy anymore, a free country, right? And at that time, I think within a couple months after, I literally came to Dubai, and I was like, you have everything you need here. Like, everyone wants you to do good here, like how I met you, right?
Yeah.
And in Canada, it's like such a competitive place because every dog wants to eat. Over here, it's like, okay, come, you want to eat? Okay, come sit at the table with us. And I really felt that right off the bat. And I don't know if that's like the Islamic hospitality or Arabian hospitality, but the culture is just there versus Canada. So.
No, you're right, man. You're right. I mean, Canada. I'm from Australia, but Canada is very similar to Australia. I used to live in Canada, by the way.
No way.
Toronto too.
Oh, okay. I'm from Toronto.
Are you from Toronto?
Yeah.
Where else?
You know where it's like Don Mills in Eglinton by the Science Center.
Eglinton?
Yeah,
I know Eglinton.
Right near DVP or the Gardener.
Got ya. Nice. So what is that? That's like northwest.
Yeah, like it's literally 10 minutes from the CN Tower.
Okay. Yeah. It's not far at all. I was in Maple Leaf Square in front of Union Station.
Oh, okay, so you're central.
At the time, it was Scotia Bank Arena. Now it's Air Canada Arena.
Yeah.
That's how long ago I was
So how long were you there for?
It was 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah,
So you were only there, sure. Okay,
Yeah,
I thought you were like living there.
Well, no, I wasn't on holiday.
Oh,
6 months is not a holiday.
You went on vacation to go to Toronto
For 6 months? No, nobody would go to there for 6 months. So I went there to try to see what it's like. You know what I mean? Try to make a name for yourself.
What was your thoughts?
I love it. But listen, the cold was too much for me.
You went in the wintertime?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I experienced the winter.
Yeah.
But it was just too much for me because it was like, bro, leaving the house is a process. It's layers. On layers.
Yeah. Like over there, like the most important thing is you need to buy a nice jacket. So it's like you either get your Canada Gooses or your North Faces. And like you worry less about like, hey, what shirt am I gonna wear? What pants am I gonna wear? It's all about the jackets just because it's cold.
Yeah.
But the good thing is we do get very nice summers. So, but the thing about Toronto, like if I had to choose between living in Toronto or Canada versus US, I'd always choose Toronto. Canadians are generally more nice.
Got ya.
It's just.
What about Vancouver?
Vancouver is nice too. It's a little bit more. I would say the people are more like upper class.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, all the real estate's in Vancouver.
It's crazy.
Any place you see where the real estate is through the roof, there's different type of people there, different vibe there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Why are you talking about Dubai like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no surprise.
Yeah, the property prices here are crazy.
It's honestly, I think, so the property prices here, if you compare it to Vancouver and Toronto, it's about the same price.
Okay.
But I feel like the value is more, the value is more here, right?
Really?
Well, compared to Toronto, the ROI, the return on investment is not worth it at all.
No, it's very investable here.
Exactly, yeah. And they make it easier too.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're trying to choose like a halal mortgage or the halal option, then they make it easier here compared to Canada and US. Well, in Canada, you're stuck with a 30-year mortgage, right? So most of the time when they kind of say you're signing your life away, right? Like I think in Latin, mortgage does mean like death contract or whatever, right? So it's like, yeah, you're signing your life away for the next 30 years. Well, over here, they kind of make it a little bit more easier, give you way better options, right?
Of course. So, I mean, you know, I'm from Australia and like, you know, I have a bit of a budget in my mind on buying a property. And then I'm thinking in Australia, I could buy the best house. Like,
how is the real estate market in Australia?
Cheap.
Really?
Like cheap.
You probably get like nice villas and stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm from Perth, which is like not Sydney or Melbourne. Right?
Okay.
Put it that
I'm
way.
thinking Sydney, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sydney and Melbourne is probably a thing. It's probably more expensive. But from where I'm from, like, $2 million US, I could get a house with a gate that goes back. The driveway goes into the house, 2 driveways, and like beach views.
Hit me with and a pool too.
Yeah, everything, the whole thing. But yeah, $2 million US. I could probably get that in Australia. Yeah, in my city.
You know what? The average
here, a townhouse
for $2 million.
Yeah,
a US.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can get it cheaper, but you gotta go, you know what I mean, in the desert.
I mean, to be honest, like the condos here are definitely the condos and apartments definitely way better in terms of the style, the Moroccan look. I love it, especially in Souk Bahar. And then just the amenities that come with it, you know. Like in Canada, we have a problem. We don't have bidets everywhere. Over here, I really do like it. Plus the view, you can't beat the view. Like I'm staying in an Airbnb downtown. It's around the same price as you'd get in downtown Toronto. And I would definitely opt in for this, you know. But I don't know how it is in Australia. I know Australia, same weather, right? There's no winters there.
Yeah. Well,
really?
We get winter, but I mean, it's
like no snow, right?
It does get hot, but Dubai gets very hot.
Yeah, I know. Right now it's so hot, man.
Is this hot for you?
Yeah, bro. Come on, man. I'm a Canadian, but I'm not used to this.
True.
It's very hot,
you should be careful, man. You might get heat stroke. This is nothing.
Oh, I've been drinking so much water. Really?
Yeah, this is nothing. Listen, in the middle of summer, my guests will come and open that door. Just that 2 seconds that the door's open and they get in the car and they close it, we have to get a tissue and wipe down all the camera lenses.
Are you serious?
Yeah, everything here just goes.
Wait, how hot does it get? Like degrees?
50.
50 degrees?
52.
Yeah, that's not safe.
It's unsafe. But people love it. Listen, I see a lot of Russians at 52 degrees going to the beach.
You know what's so funny?
They love it.
I came here last year. I saw like the Europeans and Russians, right? And I came here this year now, and it's like I feel like I'm in Europe.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in like a state of Russia, right?
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I don't understand. Like I understand why they're here, but I'm like the fact that the heat doesn't even bother because
they love it.
Because the sunburn, it's very bad, right?
They love it. They love it, dude. Like they'll get lobster red. Like love it.
I see it.
Like give me more. I love the sun. I was like, wow. The Russians, man, they're strong. They're strong. I've noticed that from when I see from here. They're strong people.
Yeah.
So, first of all, where's your family right now? Is your family in Toronto?
Yeah, majority of my family is in Toronto. I have in Dubai. I have my my uncle, my aunt. Like this is a couple, like maybe around like less than 10 of my family members there. But they started their business in UK, and the UK and Canada have the similar situation in capital gains taxes, whatever, right? And yeah, he decided to move here. We actually originally came here in, when we started our business, it was in 2020, 2021 during the pandemic. So my uncle ended up getting stuck here because of the pandemic, and then he just became bored, so he decided to open up a couple restaurants, and then brought me over to handle the marketing, social media, and kind of get the word out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of our story of how we came into Dubai.
Sure.
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, who are you? What do you do?
My name is Bilaal Dhalech, aka BD Investing. So I teach personal finance, investing, crypto, real estate, anything to do with money, especially for more of the retail investors and I would say normal people that actually want to get their hands into the finance aspect and not retire broke, or because you know most people nowadays
Retiring broke,
especially in the West, they retire broke because sure, most people can earn money, but the whole point is how much money do you keep and how much money do you grow, right? And that's where I come in, where from an early age, like I started off with a great career at 19 years old, making like close to 6 figures, right? And my original background is electrical engineering. I went to school for that, went into nuclear generation, whatever, and worked my way up. And then I realized, like, hey, even though I'm making a good salary, I'm gonna be working in this 9-to-5 rat race forever. So I decided to go into more of the investing method, and I did this by reading a couple of books. One of the famous one, which is Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm sure. Of
course.
Yeah. Right. That's like the golden book. Everyone, to get your hands in the game.
It's so good because when you have a poor dad, you need a rich dad to tell you to think about things properly.
Yeah, exactly. And like it kind of falls into my life because, like, even though my father, great man, very smart, he's a mechanic by profession, and in a sense, like he was teaching me the get money and save, and if you have enough money, go into real estate. And real estate's not bad, but it's the old method. Like it's not gonna get you rich. And then you have my uncle, which is I would say the rich dad, who taught me about the forms of investing, business, entrepreneurship. So it's like I kind of got two great perspectives, because even though my dad, he was also investing in the stock market, so he taught me that part, and then my uncle taught me the more entrepreneurial, hands-on, starting a business from scratch. So I kind of took both perspectives where I started investing. Then I'm like, hey, I can teach this and turn it into a business, and I did that by selling courses, selling Discord memberships, which is very popular, especially with the younger generation. Like most people, like I sell Discord memberships where I give my stock picks, exactly anything that I'm doing, my insights on the crypto market, real estate market, especially everyone's watching, like, inflation and interest rates, right? So yeah, so I sell those memberships, and we're doing pretty good.
How many staff do you have?
How much staff do that work under me?
Yeah, because you had one of your staff.
Yeah.
When you pulled up, and so you would have flown a lot of your staff out here from Toronto.
Yeah. So I ended up. In total, we are less than 10 people. So we just started. I started taking this serious last year, where I launched my business, bdinvesting.org. But before that, I was a finance content creator, meaning like I was making videos on TikTok, Instagram, social media, Facebook. But we just decided to finally take it to a more entrepreneurial route and actually go official with it. So yeah, I have less than 10 members, but I flew out 3 others. So I had my assistant who you saw. So he runs the day-to-day operations coordination, because there's like so many members. We have more than 1,000 members in the Discord, so it's hard for one person to just manage. And and then we also have a couple of professors, captains, teachers in our program. So 4 of them. One teaches options trading, which is a form of derivatives. Then we have someone specifically for crypto trading and crypto investing. We have someone that just deals with personal finance, long-term investing. And then the 4th one would be more about real estate, interest rates, inflation, and anything to do with like macroeconomic events, like, Jerome Powell, everyone. That's another shocker to me, which is no matter where you go in the world, everything is pegged to the US dollar. And everyone, no matter what, they all pay attention to what Jerome Powell and the central bank does. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, whoa, okay, you can't escape it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true. I mean, whenever my friends are in stocks, they always like, yeah, we're going to watch Jerome Powell's speech tonight, blah, blah, blah. So
dude, it's like...
He chooses where the market goes from his speech,
It's so funny because I'm sure, like, if you talk to those friends, 5 minutes, they'll be all excited. Oh, man, I'm rich. And then you go like, hey, you made money. And 5 minutes later, be like, nah, like he said something negative.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, nowadays, the stock market literally is like like a casino or a place to gamble, because like 1 minute you're rich, 1 minute you're broke. Same as a casino. You know what I mean?
It gets addictive.
I'm not gonna lie, it is, especially if you're doing like derivatives trading where you're doing leverage. Yeah, like sometimes I don't even know if I'm actually in it for like the money
Yeah,
or more
or
for the hype,
for the
like
hype.
adrenaline.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Forex.
Oh,
Jeez.
I don't even like to touch forex because that's like a whole different ball
Sure, but
game.
you're leveraging, right? You're leverage trading.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of options trading.
Sure,
Yeah.
got ya. What does that mean, options
So
trading?
it's like you're pretty much buying the right to buy something.
Okay.
It's like contracts.
Sure.
So like one position would one contract would be 100 shares. So in that sense, you're almost multiplying by 100. So it's like, you remember back in the day they had futures trading, which was like if I wanted to buy Apple, I'd bet that the price of Apple, let's say the stock of Apple price is at 120, and I think by the end of the month it'll go to 140. Now if Apple moves closer to that strike price of 140, then I would make profit. So you're pretty much gambling on the price to reach a certain price before the expiry date.
Sure.
And if you hit that, or you go even higher than the strike price, you're making bank.
What is give me a breakdown in percentage how much of your portfolio is crypto compared to regular stocks?
I would say 60%. I would say 60% of my money is in stocks, and then 40% is in crypto.
Okay.
And for that reason, it's just because I was always a stock market guy, right?
Sure.
And I think I first ventured into crypto during the pandemic when it first crashed. So before that, I always thought crypto was a scam because you'd hear all these issues with crypto, people losing money.
Yeah.
But the problem was I was being ignorant and I didn't look deeply into it. So the perfect time was during the pandemic when everything crashed. So I was looking for opportunities. I had cash to invest, but nothing was happening. So I'm like, you know what? Let me look into this crypto. Like, nothing is truly a scam if the market cap is over trillions of dollars, right? Looked into it, researched about it, saw that it's a decentralized currency, meaning there's a limited supply. There's only like 21 million Bitcoin out in the world. Plus, no one can control it. No government, no entity, no person, right? And I'm like, this makes sense. This solves every problem that we're dealing with. Well, not Dubai, but we're dealing in the West, which is high inflation, high interest rates, and people pretty much like going bankrupt and broke. And then I'm like, hey, this makes sense. Like, for me, if anything makes sense, like if it makes money, it makes sense. You know what I mean? So I think at that time it was like 10 to 15,000 USD. Purchased it, and I think I rode it all the way to 60,000. That's when I first made a good amount of money in Bitcoin, and I was like, okay, this is just a proper rinse and repeat, because the markets all work in cycles. And but I am continuously increasing my position in crypto. Like, I'm starting to like crypto more than stocks because the stock market is so heavily manipulated in a sense, right? Like, everything is manipulated in a sense. But I am just, before my crypto portfolio was only like 10-20%. So I'm actually proud of myself that I've increased it to 40% of my entire holdings. But yeah, crypto is definitely an amazing space.
So let's go back to your business, okay? So you have the educational platform, right, where you teach people how to trade?
Trade, invest, even save money. Yeah.
Okay.
Just personal finance.
Personal finance. And then the Discord channel is basically, I'm looking at this to buy, exit at this, buy this.
What people love is transparency, right? We have so many YouTubers, gurus, out in the world, influencers, but how do you know they're actually being honest with what they're doing? Like, I can literally say, hey, like I said, I bought Bitcoin at $10,000, but how do you know that? So like, Discord, in that sense, my Discord I literally screenshot my trade, screenshot my portfolio, show you everything, because I feel like as an influencer, like, you have that, like, it's, no one tells you to do it, but just being an ethical person, you want to have that transparency. If you're paying me, I want to be as honest and transparent with you. You know what I mean? And most, like, if you go to the higher level, banks won't show you their complete portfolio, but it's public information, but you have to dig for that information, right? In terms of where I'm like, you don't even have to dig. Here it is. Follow me, believe me, or don't.
Okay, so do you make money trading, like day trading?
Of course, yes.
But I hear a lot of people don't make money in trading.
I'll be honest, only 1% of people make money in trading. So
if you like this video, consider subscribing. We do weekly podcasts with experts in every industry to help you find direction and guide you on your way. Now let's get back into it.
I'm always a believer of long-term investing. I think that's the best way to win, and if you have a long-term mindset. Trading, if you need a lot of practice, you need a lot of discipline, and you need to be in control of your emotions, especially when it comes to like, you gotta ask yourself before you make any trade: am I gambling, or do I have an actual hypothesis or actual information to go with this trade? So anytime Jerome Powell talks, I will always, if I'm gonna like, it's a total bet. Don't get me wrong, it's a total gamble trading. Anytime a Fed member or even Sleepy Joe talking, right? But if you have the information, which is like inflation data, if you know there's an inflation report coming out on this day, and you know last month's inflation report was good, then you know Jerome Powell and the Fed will be a little bit more dovish, meaning they'll be a little bit more bullish, or they'll be like, okay, we don't need to raise interest rates. And you can use that by just Googling like the CPI data, right? Or looking at the news. So I would rather, if I was to talk to any gambler, I would say you're better off gambling in the stock market because you have more information to go with, and most of the time you won't completely lose all your money, you know, in terms of, you know, if you go all in red, you lose all your money, you know what I mean?
Of course. Okay, so, you know, it's funny because I have a lot of traders that come on board, and obviously people make money, people lose money, but I guess it's part of it. You also win and you lose money.
Yeah, of course,
right?
Of course, yeah.
Like, I'll give you an example when it comes to trading, which I've always been so scared of trading, so I always stay away from it. But I've got a friend that was into Bitcoin since 2014. And he would buy it for $50, he would sell it for $60. He would buy it for $80, he would sell it for $100. And then one day it hit $250 and he goes, I'm not going to do it anymore, it's too expensive. But if he had held the $40 Bitcoin that he was buying, bro, right now, I'm going to be honest with you, he lives in a granny flat in the back of his mom's house. And he's
no way. So he didn't even make it out?
He didn't make it out.
No, I thought this was going to be a good story.
He's got a business that isn't doing that well and you know, just running itself. And he's not...
We you know what? That's a mistake most he was trading, but any trader, investor knows that you should always hold some position where your money grows. But the problem with that is he was trying to time the market. So he made two mistakes. One, he was trying to time the market, meaning he then expected to, he thought at that point that was the peak. And he's like, okay, that's it, I'm not going to go back.
Correct.
And the second mistake he made was he did investing based on price. Now the problem with that is you're not investing in the price, you're investing in value. Like what's the value of Bitcoin? It's not 250, it's where it can go in the future, right? But at that like a lot of people make this mistake. Like I have a lot of beginner investors and traders that come in and let's say they want to buy like some meme coin, right? Like a Donald Trump coin, which is like God knows 0.00001 cents versus like the price of, we'll say, Ethereum, right? Now they say, oh, I don't want to buy Ethereum, it's too expensive, I would rather buy this Trump coin. They're like, it can't go any lower than like 0.0001. Yes, it can. It can. Numbers are infinite. It can literally go down to 0.99, negative 9. Yes, you won't lose 100%, but it'll stay at negative 99%. So my advice would be go for where there's actual value. Like Ethereum is created by Vitalik, great guy, very smart, right? There's value
from Canada.
Yeah, from Canada.
Yo, CZ's from Canada?
CZ's from Canada too, and I think he just got arrested too, right?
Yeah, no, 4 months.
We have a lot of great people from Canada.
Yeah, a lot of criminals.
God forbid, I don't get arrested. But
no, I'm kidding.
Like I said, man, like Ethereum's an excellent platform. Like they got smart contracts. Like it has a great future, right? Versus like something like a Poo coin or Trump coin. Where's the future in that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you hold any cash in your bank account, or do you look at cash as a shit coin? You're like, get away from this. As soon as you get cash, you like buy some Bitcoin.
You know what? There's many things, like there's many things that are around cash, but the thing is, cash is king at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like you can't do much unless, because the thing is, I can be fully invested. Of course, I hold cash. Like I always try to hold like at least like a year's worth of savings, just in case anything happens, right? The majority of my money is like it's either invested or going towards my business or ready to be deployed into my business. So I'm always investing my money, whether it's in the markets, in my business, in myself, education, whatever it is, right? But hey, times like this, cash is definitely king, and I'm glad I held enough cash, because like there's times where I'm like, oh man, if I invested this, I would have like 10x my money. But you can't think like that. You gotta think, hey, there's more opportunities down the road, right?
No, because I look at it, you know, obviously you teach investing and everything like that, and I look at it as I look at the broke mentality, and they're like, oh, they hold on to their cash, and they printing all it. Like I hate cash. When I see euros or dollars come to my account, I quickly transfer it into something else.
Trust me, man. I absolutely hate seeing cash just sitting there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm always forward thinking, meaning I'm like, because I studied the cycle, so I know when the market's gonna be crashing, right? Like I always have my money automated. So like for me, every Wednesday, I have this amount of money going to Bitcoin, this amount of money going to stocks, this amount of money going to my business. So my money's always flowing around. It's never stuck in a place. It's either growing or it's moving. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So do you, when you see cash hit your account, do you quickly try to find somewhere to park it?
I try to make it look like I'm broke. So I have like 2-3 bank accounts. That way it always looks like my balance is low. And it's just a mental game, right? Because if I see too much, like in the past when I was younger, if I would see too much money, I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable. I don't have to work. I can put my feet up. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then the fact when I see less, it motivates me to go out and make more. Like no, this is not enough.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's funny you said that. I spoke to my friend about this recently. I like not having money in my account because it just makes me push harder. I'm like, oh,
it's a motivation, man.
I need to keep going. So that's why, like, there's like a meme where there's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He goes, and like the real skinny guy next to each other, and he goes, my crypto wallet, and then my bank account wallet. You know what I mean?
Those I love memes like that because it's like, yo, it shifts your mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I always like to do that as well. It makes you hustle a lot more.
No, of course. And it's like what you said, but it all comes down to who the person is too. Like if you already have a broke mindset, broke mentality, seeing less money might even be like, you know what, why even bother? Yeah. And I have friends like that. They're still like I grew up in like the hood, right? And some of my friends are still there doing the same thing. Even though I convinced them like, hey, come work for me. No, I don't want to work. The stocks don't interest me. I'm like, okay, at least make some money and buy Bitcoin. Like there's so many friends, me and my other associates, we told our own family members, friends, hey, not even buy this Bitcoin at this cheap price, but buy this stock, or hey, do this with your money, or hey, there's opportunity to go work in there. And their mind is so blocked at just being in a closed box and being used to the comfort. And there's many people that are also just okay with a 6-figure salary, but they're like, hey, I don't want to invest. I don't want to make more money. I'm comfortable here. Like they set the bar so low where they're all, like, did you ever see that experiment with the fleas? So there was this one famous experiment where there was a jar and they put a bunch of fleas, right? And they let the fleas jump, so they were jumping like higher than like the glass.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
But then what they did was they put a cover on top and then they left them for it. And guess what? When they took the cover off, they stayed at that level. So it's the same thing. It's like it all depends on who you're hanging around with. If the people you hang around with set a bar low, you're gonna stay at the same level. It's also as if you set the bar low for yourself, you're gonna stay at that same level. So I grew up with people who we all set the bar low for ourselves. Where we're like, okay, we just want 6 figures. That's it, $100,000. That's it. We'll be happy. And then eventually they decided to stay there. And even me, I started realizing like, hey, if my friends are okay, if they can only afford to go here, then guess what? I'm okay with that because that's my circle.
Correct.
But then I decided to like expose myself to
Dubai.
This guy right here, right? I exposed myself to more higher net worth people, and I'm like, whoa, like the possibilities are endless. Why, if he can do that, like he's a normal guy, I can do it too, right? Yeah.
When you say you grew up in the ghetto and your friends are still there, what do they do? Are they drug dealers?
No comment.
No comment. Okay, so that's kind of what the ghettos over there do.
Some of them are drug dealers, and then there's just some people that just work a regular 9 to 5, but like a lower income. Like one of my friends, he works like we have the LCBO, which is like the alcohol, the beer store, or whatever. Some of them work like a regular retail job, like Walmart or Target. And then we have some people that just work for the government, and they're okay with like a $70,000 a year, which I have like no problem. Like if you're happy with a 9 to 5, that's perfect. At least you're doing something. You're better than.
You've made it.
I'm still trying to make it.
No, like if you're happy to work at McDonald's and that's your dream job, you've made it.
Yeah, it's all mentality, right?
Because we make $1 million, we want another one, and then we want another one. When does it end?
The cycle's endless,
right?
I kind of hate that. Yeah, I kind of hate that because ignorance is bliss. You know what I mean? I kind of wish I had that mindset where I was okay with that. I wish I was okay with like owning a regular house, regular car, 9 to 5, coming home to a family, boom, 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 right? And no hate against having a family, but I want to provide better things for my family, my mom, my dad, wife, girlfriend, whatever, right? Yeah. But some people are just okay with living a mundane life.
What age group is the people that you are subscribed to your content and in your community? What age group are they usually?
So it's around the mid 20s and 30s. We do have a couple people that are 40 plus, 50 plus, and those guys are more aiming for retirement. But I tell them straight off, I'm like, hey, it's not too late for you to invest, but you did miss like the main part of your life where you could have invested, right? Because now when most people are in their higher 30s, 40s, 50s, they either have a mortgage they have to pay, or they have to take care of family, and more money is going towards family, mortgage, and responsibilities versus when you're younger. Like, I'm trying to attack more the younger crowd because we are the future, right? And I think a lot of the younger generation, especially people that I grew up with in my area, they get tricked by social media. They get tricked by falling into like some of the I like to say luxury traps of the world, right? Like buying expensive car which they cannot afford, so finance, lease, whatever. Paying for expensive college tuition, university or college tuition, like philosophy and psychology, which will absolutely not help you, right? And many people think these aren't traps, but they are, because they have no future value, or there's no return on investment in these things, right? Like, okay, if you want to buy, like some people like say, oh, I use my car as a business. Okay, like what do? You do Uber. You don't need a freaking fancy car to do Uber, or you don't need a super fancy car to go to your IT job, right? There's too many luxury traps, too many money traps. People fall for even expensive weddings. Like, people are spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars on weddings, which I think is a total waste of money, right? Unless even if I was a millionaire, billionaire, I wouldn't even pay for $100,000 wedding. I'd rather just go.
Okay, but what if your missus is like, no, that's what I want, and that's what I always wanted since I was a kid?
Well, are you a man or are you like a bitch? You know what I mean?
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna tell her no?
I'm gonna tell her straight up. I'm like, hey, I'll give her a better offer. Which for that price, I'll be like, hey, how about we go on a honeymoon for 3 months, visit that's my plan. Let's go visit every country. And if you want to get married, why not? Isn't it better to get married on a beach?
Sure.
Versus like feeding people that don't even like you, or evil eyeing you in a sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's all about how like I said, everything's about value. Like your money, put it towards something that's actually worth it, right?
Yeah, of course, I get that. Okay, so if somebody's watching you right now and they're starting off and they don't have any money, right? Or when I say they don't have any money, they've got a job, they're making 50, 60,000 a year. What's the median average income in Toronto?
I would say 50, 60,000.
50, 60?
Yeah.
And they want to be financially secure when they retire. What advice would you have for them at the age of 20?
Because if you're starting at the age of 20 and you're making $56,000, I think that's amazing. So the first thing I would say is budget. So have some savings. I would say if you can invest even the $500 to $1,000 a month, especially in either the stock market or crypto market. I want to say real estate, but I'll stick to stocks and crypto just because it's easier, especially for a 20-year-old, right? So there's certain things we call ETFs, which is exchange traded funds. And one of the best ones, easiest ones, is the S&P 500. So there's many. You got VOO, VFV for Canadians, and these follow the top 500 U.S. companies. So in these stocks, you have like the most famous names: Apple, Google, Tesla. And I always say, like, invest in things you use. So like, everyone has an iPhone, everyone uses Google. We see Teslas everywhere. People use Microsoft Word, Excel. These are things you use on the daily. So my advice would be, hey, find a nice ETF. And these are like if you have like a investment broker like Wealthsimple. I think in the UAE is eToro. In the US, you have Robinhood. Open one of these brokerages, open up a tax-free savings account. You got the Roth IRA, you got a TFSA. And I would say just try to put away like either like $1,000 a month, $100 a week, and try to buy either a stock in a company you're familiar with, like Apple, Google, or invest in the top 500 US ETFs. And these historically have performed excellent, like 10%, 10 to 20% a year. A good year is 20%, an average year is 10%. At 10, you know how hard it is to make even 5% on your money? You're making 10% on your money just by investing in the top 500 companies. Now people say, oh, what if I lose all my money? The only way you'll lose all your money is if you see Apple going down, and you see Tesla going down, Google going down, or if there's a nuclear bomb, and at that point, your money won't even matter. So what's the point? So you're better off leaving it in the markets. Yeah. And in terms of crypto, I think everyone nowadays, like back in the day, I wouldn't have suggested crypto. But nowadays, I think crypto is like the next big thing. Everyone should invest in crypto. It doesn't matter which one. But I always like to go with the foundations, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? These are like the foundations of a home. Ethereum, Ethereum and Bitcoin. And honestly, it's not gonna hurt to put $50 to $100 a week in any of these cryptos. Like it's gonna grow. I think historically in the last 10 years, Bitcoin has like almost like 1,000x. You know, so you can't go wrong. It's always important to have some risk in your portfolio or investment.
How do you stay updated with financial trends, and how do you incorporate it to your financial content?
Well, nowadays we have like social media is such a big thing. We have Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And Twitter or X is, especially the finance community, is huge on that platform where you'll see exactly what people are doing. This is actually funny because you have celebrities nowadays that are talking about certain companies. So example is back in the day we had Kylie Jenner, right? She talked about Snapchat, where she said, "I don't even use Snapchat." Well, if you were
I remember that.
If you were a stock bro or finance bro, you know there's a ticker for Snapchat, which is SNAP. So what did the finance bros do? They automatically went and shorted Snapchat, and that stock tanked because Kylie Jenner is such an influential person, huge celebrity, right? The Kardashians, I say they're money movers, they're market movers. Like Jerome Powell's not a market mover, and Kylie Jenner is, right? Yeah. So, just like if you don't even need to know charts, trends, or anything, if you can just pay attention to the social, it's called social arbitrage investing. If you just look at the social trends, I'm sure you'll do better than most. I'm not saying that's the only way to invest, but it definitely helps me because if I see, like in my Discord, I literally have Twitter and Instagram feeds connected using AI bots. So anything that the AI detects, which could be from someone famous, like let's say like in Canada we have Drake, right? If Drake were to say something about like Apple, then we would know that, hey, either this is a good thing or a bad thing, and we make our moves and decisions from that.
Have you met Drake?
I've been around Drake, but I haven't like personally met him. Like I have a lot of my best friends are very like close associates with Drake. Yeah. But no, personally, like I don't like to like idolize people. Like I've seen him around, but I didn't go like, oh Drake, right? But I definitely do like Drake's music. I grew up listening to Drake. But I've heard he's an awesome dude. Very smart investor. Like because he is from a Jewish background, and most Jewish people are very good with their money. And he's actually I'm not gonna lie, he's a smart guy. He has his money invested in a lot of private equity, a lot of companies, especially in Canada. One of our brokerages, which is Walt Simple, which is one of the largest brokerages in Canada, and he was one of the early investors on that. And they have a valuation of like almost like $100 billion, and he got in like at 10 million. So you do the math on that. You know? So it's definitely a smart guy, you know, so well connected.
Is he a billionaire yet?
Yeah, he is. Like he had like $1 billion deal with Apple Music. So I think he's long term. Like he's way past $1 billion at this point.
Okay. I spent 3 days with him.
Did you actually?
Yeah, in
That's
Australia.
Dope, man.
Yeah,
No way.
he's a nice guy.
One-on-one?
I never hung out with him. I hung out one-on-one with him in a van for 15 minutes, but it wasn't even one-on-one. He had a girl with him.
Oh, okay.
But the boys weren't around, so me and him were just talking. But it was always with the boys. Me and Chubbs became really close.
Oh, Chubbs is a cool guy too, man.
Yeah, me and him became very close. We were just like messaging each other. He was in Australia for 3 days, and I was just hooking him up, like whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
If they wanted a party and they want to bring people.
What's your thoughts on him and his entourage?
What in light of what's going on right now? And
not with the beef, but it's just in general.
Bro, honestly, his entourage is all gentlemen. Huh? They're all gentlemen.
Yeah.
They're all really nice people, and you know. This is probably crediting what Kendrick's saying. They're not street people. None of them. No. They're such nice people. They're gentlemen. They shake your hand.
You know what it is?
Spoken.
You know what it is? He's grew up with street guys.
Yeah.
But he'll never get his hands dirty in that sense.
No, but even his boys weren't like you could go to a game concert, and his entourage will be like Crips and Bloods and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all of them were well spoken. Talked well, vibed, enjoyed, like had a good time. We like cracked jokes. So yeah, all of them seemed like real. None of them came across like street
like
people.
roadmans, yeah.
But they don't need to.
Yeah,
they don't need to.
They're rich at that point.
They got security now.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Security. So it's just going to be his security versus his security.
One thing I'll say about Drake, he takes care of his people. Like if you're his boy, he will get you into whatever he's doing. So if he's investing in his company, he's gonna get you into it. If you're interested in a rap career, he'll let you try it out too. He's done a lot. Because it's pretty smart. Because what he's done is his son, like he made him do that album art, right?
Yeah.
Now his son is collecting the royalties on that until he grows old.
course.
Same with his boys. Like some of his boys only made one track, but they featured with Drake. But because he featured with Drake, you're getting constant listens on Spotify. So all his boys are collecting some kind of royalty.
Yeah.
So I'm like most people don't think like that. And I kind of saw that. I'm like, yo, Drake's the real one. Yeah, smart guy.
Yeah, I rapped one of his songs, "Scheming Up."
No way.
Scheming Up.
That's the song I was talking about. Because his boy, I think his name's Obi Bryan or whatever.
Obi Bryan. Yeah. He's not part of the group anymore.
Oh, he's not.
I don't know why.
Is he? Are
They've
they still friends?
secluded him.
Are they still friends or they just?
I don't know, but this is that. Back then, he was all in the scene, but now he's not in the scene. We don't see him at all. I don't see his house. I think he lives in LA now. But P Rain, back then his name was P Rain. He changed to Preem. P
Rain actually used to rap before Drake, so he used to be an OG rapper from back in the time.
Wow.
And then it was kind of so if you knew music, it was kind of good to see like Drake collab with him because you're like, hey, you're paying respects to the OGs in the music, you know?
Yeah. No, it was good, and they're all nice people. What are some of the misconceptions when it comes to investing?
Well, the problem is a lot of people think that stocks, crypto, it's all a scam, right? And I'm pretty sure anyone that's even delved into it, like even personally me, even I thought it was a scam. But that's because I had like a very ignorant mindset, broke mentality, where I just wanted to save my money and do nothing with it, right? And that was just me being scared. So scared money makes no money. Now the problem is people don't like to do their own research. People don't like to read up on books. They like to stay where they are. And I would say in order to break that is you gotta get out of your comfort zone. You gotta explore methods of making money. There's so many tools, there's so many ways to make money. And it's not even only in like the finance area or investing area. There's also like people are scared to even invest in housing, right? Even just because it's at the top. So every time you hear anyone, like anytime I hear anyone about talk about investing stocks, real estate, first thing they say is, oh, it's all gonna crash. Like, why is that the first thing you say? Like you're automatically already putting it in a negative perspective, right? Like if I came up to you and I go like, hey man, I want to buy this real estate property in Dubai. You go like, oh no, wait, it's gonna crash. Like why are you like tying that already into it being crashed? And I see that with a lot of people, especially from where I come from, because I'm introducing investing and everything. So I think it's just a broke mentality, and people need to break that habit of like comparing anything with a negative mindset, you know? So now what I do is anytime I think negatively, I automatically turn the negative into a positive. Doesn't matter if it's about investing or just life, or like let's say a waiter brought me my drink and there's no ice in it. I'm like, that's fine. I guess today I'll drink it warm. It'll help with my digestion, you know? So it's all mindset perspective.
So you just accept it?
Not accept it, but
I'd say, bring ice.
Not necessarily. It's like I was just using the waiter as an example. But
okay.
I like to change okay, fine. I'll give a better example.
Give me a better example.
If I'm driving my car and it's raining and I'm like, damn, why is it raining? I wish it was a better day. And I'll be like, you know what? I got a free car wash.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I see what you mean. Now you see what I mean.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Look, listen. Scared money doesn't make any money. Right, so you can't be scared when it comes to investing. Money flows. Money is just energy. So you have to let it flow. It has to flow through you. But also, when you hold on to money, you're subconsciously telling your body, hold on to this money because I don't think I can make it again. So you're telling yourself that you're not going to be able to make more money, right? So it has to flow. And obviously, the more you outlay, the more it comes back. So it's like a wheel.
Yes.
Right? When it comes back, you just got to keep adding to the wheel to make the wheel thicker, and it just comes flowing back more.
It's almost like the law of attraction also, right? Like the more energy you put out there, the more you want, you receive, right?
Big facts. So how much staff do you have? You were telling me before.
Oh, about 10, less than 10.
10 staff in Toronto.
Globally.
Yeah. Beautiful. If you like this video, consider subscribing. We do weekly podcasts with experts in every industry to help you find direction and guide you on your way. Now let's get back into it. What's next for your career and any future collaborations?
So for future, in terms of future collaborations, I started dwelling into private equity. So since my success from my investments and just my business overall, I started accumulating a good amount of money, alhamdulillah. But then now you can only invest so much into stocks and crypto because it can only grow so much. And then I started looking more into private equity and investing in startups because the risk is higher, but the return is even greater. Like most people, majority of millionaires and billionaires, they make their money in startups and private equity. So I'm currently working on a startup. It is called Blossom. So it's a social investing app, and I was one of the first investors in that. So what the company is, it's the same. It's the same principles as I follow with my Discord, and that's like, let's say you're a finance content creator, I'm a finance content creator, and I talk about like, hey, I made this much money on a Tesla stock. I bought it very low. And it's the same principles. Like, how did you know that if I even bought it? Well, that's where Blossom comes in, and it connects your portfolio with the broker, whatever broker you're with, and it verifies your purchase, your average price, and how much return your portfolio has. So let's say you're buying a course from me, and if you were to buy a course from me or buy any of my services, you want to double check, like, hey, is this guy for real? How do I know how much money he's actually made? Well, you just go on to my Blossom profile, you click on my username, and you'll see my portfolio, and it'll either be up like 20%, 100%, or it's down negative 50%, and now you got your answer that, hey, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's all talk, he ain't walk, he doesn't know chat. So now, guess what? You're not gonna buy his course. You rather opt into someone whose portfolio is actually doing well, who actually is talking about he's actually purchasing the stocks he's talking about, and you'll purchase that. So far we went live last year, and we already have 115,000 users on that app, and this is a major a platform in Canada. We just released in the US, and now we might try to expand globally, but we're trying to be a big footprint in the US, just because US has a lot of content creators. So yeah, that's one of the recent private investing that I'm dwelling into. In terms of collaborations, I am working with BMO Bank, that's in Canada, Bank of Montreal. Are you familiar with that bank? Yeah. I'm in talks. Well, when you work with BMO, you can't really work with any other bank. So it's like kind of, you got to really choose which bank you want to work with, right?
Sure. Because they're so big, they want exclusivity.
Exclusivity, exactly. And in terms of brokerages, I'm currently working with Wealthsimple. I'm in talks with Webull, which is a very large investing brokerage. And yeah, in terms of the future, I just love doing collaborations, working with companies I actually believe in. I don't like to promote anything I don't use, because my whole personality is based on transparency. So yeah.
How do you differentiate your advice compared to other financial advisors and educators?
Majority of the financial educators and influencers I see, they're not exactly transparent, and they're not open to others viewing their portfolio, where I will tell you exactly how much is in my portfolio, exactly what stocks I have, exactly when I buy and sell, and I'll even tell you where I'm looking at the future. So I'm not even selling you any advice, I'm not even selling you any information, I'm just selling you transparency. That's all I'm doing. And how can you not buy transparency if you want to grow your money in investing and trading?
Well said.
I think that was good.
Well said.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
So I'm Indian Gujarati, but religion is Islam. Yeah.
Your faith is in Islam. You come from a Muslim family. What's your opinion on halal investing?
So just because I grew up with the Islamic principles, and there's something called halal investing. It's not as popular, but most investors, because a lot of Muslim investors are starting to get into the stock market, crypto market, they like to question, hey, is my money going into the correct investments, right? I mean, we have companies like Starbucks, McDonald's, all of these are kind of providing their support to, countries like Israel, or just any countries that's attacking Muslim countries, right? Now, most people don't feel comfortable with that, because they don't want their money to be used in that war, or any war in general, right? Because even me, I don't feel comfortable investing in companies like Lockheed Martin and these aero defense companies, because it doesn't matter who they're bombing. They're bombing someone, they're killing someone. I don't want my money to be made off bloodshed. That's just me. No judging on whoever invested their money. So a lot of people and these are halal principles. So people like to choose these halal Sharia compliant principles of investing. And we have many services, like you can easily Google just go on Google, search up Sharia stocks, halal stocks. You can also check stocks. Most companies, they either invest in, if they hold too much, they pay their money through high interest, like banks. So people don't like to make like halal investing. You can't make money off of interest, porn, gambling, alcohol, drugs. So even companies like weed, some pharmaceutical companies, but most people, I like to stay out of those too. So personally, me, I don't really, I don't make money off of interest. I don't leave my money in savings. And like we were talking about earlier, that's better for me because I just want my money to be going somewhere other than sitting in a bank account, right? And I personally don't invest in any aero defense companies, war companies, gambling, none of that. I like to stick to my tech stocks. I like to stick to my, proper growth stocks, the startup companies.
How do you approach risk management, especially when it comes to new investors?
So whenever a new investor comes to me, they always have a lot of worries, which is normal. And they always say, hey, how do I make sure I don't lose all my money? And my best advice is don't go into gambling stocks. Like, don't gamble your money away. Make sure you always do your research, your own due diligence. Don't just follow someone blindly. Like, we have a lot of people nowadays, they'll say, hey, buy Dogecoin, buy, this new meme coin. There's so many things you can put your money in that can lose your money, can make you lose your money or make you money. So my advice would be, hey, don't follow anyone blindly. Make sure if you are following someone and you are following their advice that they are a credible person, or like I said, they're very transparent. And always Google's your friend. Google, now we even have ChatGPT. It's only 5 seconds to ask ChatGPT or even Google any information about a company, and most of this information is public, so it shouldn't be hard to find.
What advice would you give somebody who's looking at diversifying their investment portfolio?
Personally, I don't like to diversify my money just because you don't get the best return. Like for me, it's like I like to do like highly concentrated bets, meaning I'll pick a couple companies, like 10 to 20 companies. Even when it comes to like real estate, stocks, crypto, I like to keep like less than 20 positions and put all my money. But I get some people are more conservative and like slow growth, which is perfectly fine because they like to sleep at night. And I would say like have either like 60% of your money either in real estate, 30% in stocks, and then the rest in crypto. Like 10-20%. Yeah.
10-20% in
crypto.
Crypto.
Yeah.